person actually owns and resides and lives within the house. Her name is Dara Black, and this man up here, his name is John Coffey. He originally found the cave in 1830. He was surveying his land, flipped over some rocks, went, oh, big hole. He went into said big hole, he explored a little bit, got limestone for property, got in, got on out. 1834, he left here for the Birchburg Boys Academy to go down, which is where we found out a lot of the information which we know to this day. Of course, as time progresses, we find out more. Fast forward 100 years to this man up here. M.L. Bergen and his associate, they were from the Boonesboro Crystal Grottos. It's an hour down the street, Boonesboro, Maryland. They have their own cave. It's pretty cool. They have their own commercialized place. But anyways, they saw the opportunity for money. So they knew about the cave. They put the house, which was originally this, which was the original office and gift shop, right on top of it. They were open 24/7 for 50 cents each. Knock on the door at 3 a.m., he'd take you down. That's about $7 in today's money, by the way. But anyways, that was the original office and gift shop. 2 years later, they had the rest of the house built on. That's from their first ever wedding in 1933 between a Mildred Louise Carter and a Donald Ray Beckley. You can see their first ever wedding, the picture from it, and you see our first ever wedding in 2024, how the house has not changed, but the people sure have. 1954, unfortunately, shut down. We're not 100% sure why, but it could have been one of 3 reasons. Either one, lack of money, so I don't believe that later. Could have been commercialization was too strict. They spent $500,000 of 1931 money commercializing this place. That's about $7 million from today's. Luray Taverns, if I'm right, it's closer to $1 billion if you've been there. Then after that, it could have been that M.L. Bergen passed away in 56, 54, 56, not too far apart. He could have just got too old, nobody wanted to take it over, and then he gave it up. In the 1980s, Dara's sister's in-laws took over. In the 90s, they took Dara down. This place was closed, by the way, the entire time, but it was still open to friends and family and that stuff. So in the 1990s, Dara was taken down. Dara said, yeah, we're going to sell this place, I'll buy it in an instant. 2020, the best year of our lives, rolls around, she buys it off of them. Everybody had to wear masks in there, hand sanitizer all over the place, and apparently it wasn't very fun. We are close to being, in October, will be 5 years of being open. The whole cave is around 3,000 total feet. We'll be walking about 1,400 feet of it. It's 80 feet at our lowest point. But yeah, the roof.
Okay.
Also, do not do well with stairs. Like going upstairs. Okay, so I was a little off by a little bit. Now, links are take different from others. You're free to take pictures, photographs, all that video, that stuff. And you also are free to touch things. Just don't take videos or photographs while we're touching, because some geologists get real mad, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Because of the way the layering is up here, how's that whole ceiling? We know that this is actually a wall, and this is a wall, and this is a ceiling, and this is a floor. It's a whole cave flipped on its side, so we're walking the walls like Spider-Man right now. So you said, what, hunting accident? Is that what I heard? We're about to walk into my 3rd favorite room. Kind of looks like a giant whale skeleton. We're not, but it looks like we are. Kind of like a rib cage and a spinal column. We're going to go off on the right here. Well, I don't know how well a ball filter will make. But I mean, radioactivity would be lower down here depending on how low you go. But the problem is just that oxygen deprivation. Because it's like 70% oxygen. I'm sure you've noticed that's already harder to breathe down here. Yeah. Well, we will walk about 1,400 feet. So you'll be like 3,000 feet off, 4,000 feet off. If you want to just stand right where that water pool is,
Yeah,
I'm going to figure out the other group. Whoa, that's why I used the hand road or fairyland back in the 1930s and 1940s and 50s. Reason why they did, if I take it, shine my light at the brightest setting, get it onto the water, it's a reflection onto that water, and it looks like a bunch of fairies would live out there. Like Fern Gully. It's pretty cool. Like Bibble is going to pop out there from Barbie Fairytopia if you watch that movie. Yeah. But anyway, my favorite is Princess and the Pauper, then it goes 12 Dancing Princesses, and then it's Diamond Castle, then it's Fairytopia. Don't ask me why. I don't ever point them out because it's one specific spot where there could be microfossils, and people like to shove their face in the wall to see if they can see them. Now they're saying micro means microscopic. But yeah. If you look up here, you'll see concrete. Yeah, concrete, and also gold-looking stuff. But you'll see more concrete. If you actually lean in, you'll see a metal hatch. Because that metal hatch, we actually took a piece of rebar, smacked on it while everybody did a big game of Marco Polo up on the surface. And so I know where we're at. As you guys leave, look off to your left, you'll see a 40-mile-per-hour sign. We are 10 feet to the right of it. We're very far, so that's how far we are. It's pretty cool.
I just noticed that there was like a bunch of bricks. It looks like a big wall.
Like monkey bars? I want a monkey bar with these ones. I don't want to be too smart. But this is my second favorite room in the cave. What I love about this room is how beautiful the banding is. If you guys, when you guys were down there, you saw that hole in the wall. If you crawl back in that hole, that's where my favorite room is. You just had to crawl back like 50 feet and you get there. It's pretty cool. Now, you also can tell at one point this room was completely submerged underwater because of the way the wall ripples like in and out. Yeah. Or because this right here is the keystone of the room. From Pennsylvania, you should know what a keystone is. If you're from Delaware, you're the first state, and that's all you have about you guys. Sorry. No. I mean, an absurd slide. So you just fly above us and slide the entire time? Was that good? But you need just like flash floods, basically.
We've been bouncing around the past week visiting family, so.
Yeah. It's like, where I am in Waynesboro, like, I think lightning struck literally like a mile away from my house. It's like, you heard it hit, and then like, the moment you hear the lightning hit, you know?
What, the one in April?
Wait, I
Story up there.
saw a McDonald's and that was
You step right here, look forward, down, you'll see a signature bridge where it came from. Look forward, you'll see a signature bridge. Yeah.
I want to see.
That's where the signature bridge is, down there. Any questions for me whatsoever? I'll answer anything. Because being younger, right? Not saying that's any of you guys here, but yeah.
That's why Boston's seats are higher.
That's also why Boston seats are higher. And they stand like this. If anybody walks into anywhere going like saying like this, like the entire. But yeah.
What are you doing down here? Yeah.
One time she went into a cave that was inside the side of the mountain. It was right before July 4th, which we're about to hit soon. Any other questions? What's up? Look up here. Look closely. You'll see the George Fox. You see where it says George Fox up there? Now we thought Fox is a very rare surname, so we said if we're going to find anybody, we're going to find Mr. George Fox. But we looked it up. It said there's nothing from this area, but it did say George Fox served in the Philadelphia Infantry Division of the Union Army. We don't know if it's the same one, but what we do know is that when Philadelphia was grabbing people for the Battle of Gettysburg, they actually grabbed them from the Blue Ridge Summit area, which is all around here, and have them fight. He ended up dying in the Battle of Gettysburg, and yeah, now he's buried in the Gettysburg National Cemetery. It's pretty cool. But we don't know if that's the same George Fox horse. And then the fun thing is that back in the 60s, a bunch of hippies broke down here. So you actually crawl back there about 50 feet, you'll see a bunch of like Grateful Dead dancing bears and like that. So it's really cool. Peace signs, all that stuff. But yeah.
Doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 150 foot range today. I've been back there for a little bit. It's really cool back there, all the slide moves and stalactites and all that stuff. There's like 3 water pools back there. It's pretty cool.
Oh, it's cool.
So that's gold looking stuff, and what let's say silver is actually just a little bit of potassium and water. So let's say it was just silver and gold, silver and gold. You probably heard of this is my personal goat, a phrase I feel like you never hear in your life, let alone a hey, you're welcome. Right here is actually Darrow's basement. And right here is an artificial tunnel. Originally you had to crawl on your hands and knees for 3 water pools to the side. It was about like 100 feet around in there. Not very good for business. So they blasted out the tunnel and I can walk over it. Oh, never mind. So, reflection pool, back up, it's even down there.
It's a pool.
It's cool. No,
Oh,
it's
that
swimming
is
pool, but
cool.
cool nonetheless. So you put this here. Now, this is where I talk about the critters down here. I've only ever seen 3 spiders, but they were very far away from Charlotte's Web. They were fine. I have caught a salamander down here before. He was in one of the water pools. It froze him solid. I have caught a frog down here before. It was like right by the entrance, and it obviously like popped down and did not go to the right spot. What else have I caught down here? Nothing really. There's no like mosquitoes really. There's no real insects whatsoever. No bats. No way from getting in. No snakes, no raccoons, no rabbit animals, no lions, tigers, or bears. Oh my! But come on, I'm leaving you guys down here. And that's not good. I genuinely would. You ever hear the phrase "wear your fear on your skin"? If you're afraid of somebody, tell everybody you're afraid of it, so you'd be less afraid. Well, I took that both metaphorically, literally, and mostly physically when I got this tattoo right here. Down that way. You're welcome. What I got there on this floor. Go check it out.
Excuse me. Shall we dance? That's pretty.
That right there is also flowstone. So what happens with that, and why it looks like plastic, is smooth surface. That's what we call little bro jellyfish. You saw, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, people like to lay on it, people like me, you can see how it kind of looks like one. The other reason is because they drew it on the map. There you're welcome. What I want you to notice is that look at the side of it. Doesn't it kind of look like the state of Kentucky?
sway from here. Around.
Well, you actually can match up the ridges. Like this ridge right here was all the way up here. At one point, this dropped and jumped over with such a force it jumped over a foot. This is a 10-ton rock. A mermaid tail. You see its body, its tail, and it splays out into a fin. Again, another form of flowstone. It's pretty cool. Now, please take your time as we go down this way. Walk on the left side where it's dry. Common sense dictates that 51% or more of a population should know something. Walk where it's dry, not where it's wet. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so walk on the left side. Use the rocks if you need to help you. Now, if you guys look off to your left, you'll see this crack in the wall right here. That crack in the wall is actually the tectonic plate. But you can see how it's calcified. What's up?
Are you talking about this?
The crack the whole way down.
Oh, okay.
That's the tectonic plate.
Gotcha, sorry.
You're all right. Yeah, thank you for asking questions. I appreciate that. But yeah, now what's really cool is we're about to get to the room where we do the weddings and where we do the caroling and where we do the orchestras and where we have trivia down here because I run a trivia company. But yeah, what's really cool about that is that as you notice how I'm whispering, but you still can hear me just fine. That's because we're getting to the room where I can do that stereotypical echo! You're an idiot. If you lift this wall, it tastes like schnozberry. There's my that's number 9 on my movie references for the tour, by the way. But anyways, you see original fuse box from 1940s, had lead wiring, mercury light bulbs, all stuff wasn't safe, so we took it out about 2 or 3 years ago. But you can see we left up the fuse box and we left up the light shades. Yeah, and some of the wiring's up, but yeah. What's your name? What's your deal? Don't let it down, please. That is a type organ. Every single limestone cavern system has a type organ formation. Right here is the pulpit for the priest to sing during the weddings. And now here we are. Hallway back there. Feel free to explore. Just leave back here when you're done. So room and hallway to those floors. So we got here when you're done.
Coming in.
Yeah, but we did a Halloween one and we did a general knowledge one. I think this year we're going to degrees on the surface, it's 55 down here. To be negative degrees on the surface, it's 55 down here. It's 13 degrees Celsius to be exact if we're talking in metro system.
How many weddings do you have down here?
Baker Caverns had 3 dozen, we've had 2.
Oh,
If you would like to see a picture from our wedding, that's, let me know, yes. I don't know why I said us, like I'm some kind of 3 people.
Do they have weddings down here, or is it truly, like, does she wear a wedding dress?
It's up to the person.
That is true.
Because the first thing I asked her was, oh, you're having a wedding, brown dress or short dress? Here.
That was so special.
The train is very we flip you upside down and pull you up by your feet. Children like, and then I also have a trivia company, which is also like teaching in our own way. But anyways, teaching is what I love to do. If you guys would like to make a donation, that's entirely up to you. Yeah, we've done all that stuff. It's just like violence
why did you say they built the house on top of it?
to make money.
Okay.
To make money.
Are there any paths to, like, there's a bunch of little caves around the area, like, are there any?
The word behind it, I can't remember what it is.
You want to sing a song? Visit okay, Frank.
And so I face the final curtain. My friends, I've been there. I've done it all, for which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full.
There's no time limit, other than like, you can go be here like 18 hours.
Okay, well, good.
Just hanging here.
Down here too. Before Gara's sisters and also your